I know a lot of you guys are wondering what gear to keep on your account, what gear to level up, how to build your heroes, and of course, what you should always sell. Now, in today's video, we're gonna dive into a deep gear cleanse on my account, guys. I haven't done one of these in ages. I've actually only done a similar video like this, but I want to touch on a few different points. Season 3 Echoes of the Deep is here, guys. We have tons of new gear sets. We have mythical gear sets, which are one-piece sets. So quite a few things will gradually change for pretty much all the players. This video is sponsored by Dragonheir, so I just want to say a big thank you to them for continuing to support the channel. And if you guys are new to the game, if you're new to the channel and you're looking to try out Dragonheir Silent Gods, or you want to help and support the channel, you can download the game by using my link in the description down below, or in the pinned comment, or by scanning the QR code you see on the screen. But moving on to the main topic, guys. We have quite a few different sets in the game at the moment, right? So, how I mentioned, this is Season 3. In Season 1, you have slightly different sets. In Season 2, you have slightly different sets. But the main things are staying the same. The main principles on how you are cleansing your gear is pretty much the same. Now, what I do want to point out from the very beginning, guys, you will have, of course, legendary sets, how I mentioned, mythical, and you will have the epic sets. So the very first thing that I want you guys to do is to look at your epic gear. Don't sell all your epic gear, even when you're moving to get only legendary gear. Do not sell all your rare gear, only when you think that you don't need anything from there. Why? Because there is a thing in game, okay, called Philosopher Stones. Now, the Philosopher Stones are actually the main ways on how we are getting some of the best pieces of gear in Dragonheir Silent Gods. If you head over to Equipment Refinement, right here, you'll have this thing called Philosopher Stone. Now, this will allow me to transform an epic into a legendary. And it doesn't matter from what set is the epic. You can pick what legendary set you want to craft with them. So, always keep an eye at all of the epic gear that you're farming. Do not make your auto farming to instantly sell them, okay? Because you want to check if they have good rolls. You want to roll some of them. This one, crit rate, crit damage. Hell, I'm going to roll this one. Maybe it's going to give me attack, and maybe it's going to give me some other good stats next to it. And I want to transform this into a legendary set after. Why do I want to sell it? You know what I mean? So it's going to be pretty much the exact same thing for every single set, including rare gear. Like this one right here is not perfect, but it's still pretty good. This one right here is actually good, so I'm about to just do it into an epic gear, and bang, we got crit damage on it. And if I'm gonna get the Philosopher Stones after, if the next roll at 16 will avoid enlightenment, I will do it into a legendary piece, because it has attack, crit rate, and crit damage. Very, very nice substats. Now, you might be thinking like, well, I don't really need to do it for all of the sets. Only the attack sets really matter. Now, hear me out, especially if you're not part of Season 3. So, you only have 2-piece sets, which are the epics, and then you have 2-piece sets, legendaries, and you have 3-piece sets. For example, the Aerial Ruler set, the wearer gains an additional 4 attack for every 1 crit damage they have, but that's a 3-piece set, which leaves you uncovered. You still need to do one more piece to complete the build on your character. Now, in Season 3, they introduce mythical gear, which, by the way, is extremely, extremely hard to get, especially to get a piece with good stats on it. So, in the meantime, while you're still farming for that perfect roll on the mythical gear, you will probably need a 4th piece. And it doesn't matter from what set it is. That's why you want to keep god tier pieces from any set, okay? It doesn't matter if it's a support set. It doesn't matter if it's a set that gives you accuracy or if it's a set that gives you attack. Make sure you guys are checking them out. Like these ones, for example. If I have any of them that are worth rolling in the near future, like this one, I have double roll on crit rate, I have attack, flat attack, HP percentage, yes, it's not perfect. I don't have crit damage on it. But you know what? I already rolled double crit rate. Maybe the next roll is going to go on crit rate again, and bang, I'm going to have a pretty good result from here. And I'm just going to change it. Now, how I mentioned, you want to do this for all the sets, for all of the pieces. It doesn't matter what they are. You know, I kept some defense ones because I found it so hard to pick a few nice defense chest pieces from these tank sets. But in the end, I got some, so I don't really care about these ones anymore. What I'll be looking from here on, even from these, is to get a nice attack chest piece. Or maybe get a nice pair of gloves, you know, from one of these sets. It doesn't really matter which one. Like this one is flat, I need to sell it. I kept a lot of bad pieces so I can do a gear cleanse for you guys and walk you through it. Crit rate gloves are not bad, you know, but they only have attack, no crit damage, so probably I won't be rolling that. This one has crit rate, crit damage, no attack percentage, but I'm gonna roll this to 12, see if I'm getting crit rate and attack, and then I'll be selling all of these rare pieces, epic pieces. I just wanted to point that out, guys. It works like this for every single set. Now, when we are doing a cleanse, it's very easy to just go and select what you want to sell, right? Epic, and there you go, you sold everything. But you don't really want to do that, how I mentioned. So we're going to have to go manually and select every single piece. Now, I did specify that I will roll this rare glove because why not? Now, the thing is, I'm not really getting rare gear from anywhere anymore. So it's going to be pretty hard to get new pieces of rare gear. This one has no crit rate. I could use this one on my aura heroes, for example. I don't need crit rate on that one. I have attack percentage, flat attack, HP, enlightenment, which is not really something that I can use, but it's not the worst piece, you know. And then epic pieces. I'm gonna go through all of them like this to check if I need to roll any of them. This one, for example, if I get a crit rate, I'm going to keep it and then transform it into a legendary in the future, you know. And you should all definitely do this. Maybe attack ones. Maybe you're gonna need an attack one that will come in handy on some of your builds. Of course, it really depends what you are building. It's going to be different for each one of the characters. And that's what I kind of like want to talk about as well. But we're going to get to that part in a second. We're quickly going to do the cleanse first. Then we're going to come back and discuss about how you kind of like want to build some of the characters. I'm going to show you a couple of different examples because you will require to know a few different things. So how you may notice, we're looking at all the gloves here. Do we have any crit damage gloves that we could potentially use, or defense, or any different ones? These are some that I used before, but now I moved into getting a lot of legendary gear, so I'm not really stressed about all of those pieces. So they're all going to the bin. Basically, we're gonna sell all of those. This is a nice glove so far. An attack would be nice. Okay, we got defense, so no attack. But you know what? If this rolls crit rate at least once, is already a good piece to transform. There we go. So this is something that we're going to keep and craft into a legendary piece. And hopefully it's going to give us 2 more crit rate rolls on it. It's going to be perfect. But basically that's how it works, guys, you know. Yes, you are wasting a bit of gold while you're doing this. I'll be very honest with you if you're leveling them to level 8 to get the stats out of them. But let's be honest, you're not really wasting that much. So let's crack on with the gear that we are planning to sell in here, and this will be most of that epic gear that we don't actually need. So we were at the gloves. For whatever reason, I couldn't click on the sell button from there. So this is going. You just don't have the right substats on them. This is a good piece. I'm gonna keep it. It's not so much crit rate on, but I have high rolls on crit damage, so we're gonna keep that one. We're going to roll this one later on, and we're going to see if it's worth keeping. I haven't done a cleanse on my account just yet. I was actually saving all these pieces from the very beginning. Now, when you start playing the game, all the way up to level 70, guys, let me just put it out there for you. All the way up to level 70, all the flat gear that you're getting, like flat chest piece or stuff like this, or gloves, they will actually benefit you more than percentage. Once you pass level 70, you're kind of like... going down on getting less value out of them. So flat pieces are becoming irrelevant. But before you reach that part, flat pieces are literally the way to go. It might sound odd, but it's actually the way to go with flat pieces. That's why I have some flat pieces leveled up. Now we are looking at legendary pieces. This is a unclean bloodline. It requires enlightenment and attack. I'm probably going to roll this one later on, and if I'm getting an attack percentage, I'm going to keep it. I'm not going to go and roll each one of these pieces. This one is a bad piece. It only has 1 damage stat, and it's just not going to be helpful. This one as well, 1 damage stat, not going to be helpful. This one, not good as well. Now you can keep as well the opposite. You don't need to keep only damage broken pieces. You can keep 1 piece from a damage set that will go on a tank, because it's going to roll you triple roll on defense or on HP, for example. So that's another thing to consider as well, you know. So we sold all the helmets that we have from here. I still haven't rolled all the legendaries, so I am looking to keep some of them. Like this one is not a great one. Most probably it's going to be a sell. This one only has HP, accuracy, resistance, so it doesn't look that bad, actually. This one has defense. It's pretty rare to get one with defense percentage on for the tanks, especially that the set at 3 pieces will give 15% of your defense to the teammates. So you want to make sure you have you have one that has defense percentage. This one has accuracy, crit rate. We're going to take it to level 4 and see if we're dropping defense percentage on it. So we're selling that. The piece that I have right now on Garius is ideal. Is only one roll on defense. I would like to have more, you know, and have a HP percentage, of course, even a flat defense. But that's kind of like the god roll piece, which I don't have at the moment. I am keeping this helmet for the moment. Actually, we're not keeping it. It's only 1 damage substat. I don't like it. Probably I'll have to try and craft some rare gear later on somehow. Then moving to the chest pieces, guys. How I mentioned, some flat pieces will actually be helpful all the way up to level 70, even on tanks. I use this on tanks. That's why I have a lot of them that are defense leveled up. Flat attack, you see, that actually helped me. Enlightenment, that helped me too. We're not going to keep those pieces because we don't need them. Attack, some of these pieces are not great, but we are keeping them for the moment till I get more attack chest pieces and stuff like this. I haven't really farmed much gear either at the moment because we don't have double rates on legendaries. So I stayed away from farming too much, you know. Accuracy, we're going to sell it. We don't need that anymore. We are not struggling with accuracy. This is an attack chest piece, but it's not a nice one. So basically, that's how a gear cleanse goes, guys. You know, you don't have to stack all the bad pieces. This is a nice chest piece. I'm definitely going to take these to a legendary. And hopefully it's going to give me more crit rate. It's actually an amazing, amazing piece. We have HP, defense, enlightenment. Not too interested in that one. And then from here on, we're going with them. The reason why I'm pointing out more damage pieces, guys, and not so many tank pieces like these ones, is because it's much harder to get the right substats on a damage piece of gear. Because you need crit rate, you need crit damage, you want to have very specific stats. For tanky gear, you can kind of like let it go. Oh, I have a flat HP. Well, I have some flat defense next to it. Or maybe I have a 1 HP percentage. You didn't roll on it. But we're going to keep it anyway because it's a good one. You know, it's not insane. This is not a bad piece. We have HP. I'm definitely going to roll this. It might be helpful on some different characters. Resistance with HP, not interested in that. Flat attack, not interested in that. Flat HP. Accuracy from this set. Attack and enlightenment, not interested in that either. Resistance, attack, defense. Skill haste set. Again, not interested in that specific one. Attack with crit rate on it. 100% we're going to keep that. So, pretty straightforward. You kind of like need to put it in your mind what you're planning to build as well and how. So I'm going to show you a couple of different builds in a second. But that's how the gear cleanse goes from here on, guys. We're going to keep this accuracy chest piece because we might need one later on. We're not 100% sure. Anything that looks good, even this is not a bad piece. Enlightenment from this set, we're going to keep it. It might be good for a healer. Resistance, we're going to keep that too. Will require some defense later on. HP percentage, we're keeping it. And then I have a mythical piece. This is a accuracy one. We're going to keep it. It's not too bad, okay? It might be helpful at something later on. So I have a couple of mythical gloves that I want to show you. You see their defense. I got them today actually from the free chest that they gave us. So I will use them probably till I get something better. So this is a 1-piece set. The wearer deals 35% increased damage to enemies with defense penalty. Probably a piece like this can actually help me quite a bit. You know, this is a flat piece which I'm going to sell. It's nothing that I can do with this one. So let's just sell this one directly. 100k gold. Give it to me, and hopefully they will improve a bit the rates. But the gloves, the same, guys. I'm keeping crit rate. I'm keeping crit damage. I'm keeping defense. I'm keeping, of course, HP gloves. I'm keeping, I don't know if I mentioned attack, but I am keeping attack. The flat pieces, I am selling. And how I mentioned, it doesn't matter the set, okay? If I think that I need a piece, I'm going to definitely considering keeping them. But most of these pieces, we already tried to roll them. We haven't got the right stats to make them count. The main thing is when you actually go to farm gear, you will be able to select if you want to sell the epic gear directly without even seeing it. Don't do it. Always do it manually. So that's how you're selling the gear. Pretty straightforward, guys. It's nothing nothing too crazy. I actually just have a few gloves left to sell. We sold pretty much most of the other things, right? We sold the chest pieces. We sold the not the weapons, actually. We sold the helmets. So let's quickly sell the rest as well, because it's not going to take us too long, right? We're going to go in like this. We're going to roll that one, how I mentioned. But we went to that the part already. So we have weapons, crit rate. Keep these red ones as well. I will be rolling them to see if I'm getting anything like this, because you're going to end up in having a lot of Philosopher Stones for rare gear. And you're going to be like, okay, well, I'm not getting rare gear anymore right now. What am I meant to do with it, you know? So definitely don't sell all your old gear, especially if you have like rolls that could potentially lead to an amazing piece after. So keep that in mind. That's a very good advice for all of you guys. It's very, very important as well. Like, this is not a bad piece, you know? We don't have attack, but still, it might be helpful later on. This one, not that great. So that's how we are rolling with them, basically. This is a good piece. Attack, crit rate, crit damage. We'll keep that. And the thing is, you can pick what sort of set you want to have as a legendary once you get to that part. That's what I like the most with these Philosopher Stones, that you have the flexibility to select the legendary set, and that is massive. Is a game changer, actually, being able to do it, you know? Crit rate, HP, we have a lot of crit rates on them, but we're not going to keep them just because of that. HP and defense. This is not a bad piece. We're gonna keep that one just in case. Just in case. We don't only need to do damage pieces, right? We're gonna keep that one, how we mentioned before. We're gonna sell that one, and then we are back to these ones, which I haven't really tried all of them. I haven't checked all of them, sorry, to see if any of them are worth rolling. But the ones that are, I will deselect them. I won't sell them. And later on, I'm gonna get to them and level them up to level 8. If they give me another good substat, I will consider in rolling them to the next level. 12, maybe even 16. This is a bad piece. I have crit damage, no enlightenment, no attack, and I need all that. I'm not gonna dive into the legendary pieces just yet, guys, to sell them. This is a bad one, but I will definitely sell it. Even though I kind of like want to avoid selling too many of them. They might come in handy later, you know, but that's definitely not going to be too good. Attack, crit damage, maybe it's going to roll me crit rate actually later on, so let me keep it. Accuracy, enlightenment, we keep that one, we keep that. Level 4 crit rate, accuracy, and attack. Level 12 attack, enlightenment, that's going to be helpful as a broken piece. Next one, enlightenment set if needed for the vortex. Attack, crit damage. The next handicap on the boss, on the vortex, starting tomorrow, will be 30 or 40% extra derivative damage. So they will be coming in handy, you know. And that's about it, guys. Nothing from here that I need to sell. So we'll sell what we selected so far. We got quite a bit of gold from here. And now we are left just with the gloves and the runes. Now the runes is a bit more picky. Again, you want to keep them for the Philosopher Stones. But what's more picky in there is that it really depends by the elemental affinity what you're lacking from each one of them. And what you're keeping. You still want to have the main stat as a substat too, preferably. You're still looking for crit rate. You're still looking for crit damage, you know. So that's one thing to keep in mind with them as well, you know. So sell. You see all these flat pieces that I was running before? They were actually helpful at some point. I will keep a few crit rate gloves as well, because you never know when you will need them. This is not a bad piece either with the crit rate that we have rolled on. Crit rate, but not a good substat. Crit damage with crit rate and attack. We're going to keep that. And from here on, basically, is just selecting more or less all of them, because we don't have that many pieces left that we might need to use, you know. As simple as that, guys. And as for the legendaries, if you have any flats, if you have any pieces that look dodgy, that you think you might not use, just sell them. There's no reason to store them, because you're constantly going to get bad pieces. Trust me when I'm telling you that. It's gonna be harder to get the good pieces, you know. But bad pieces, you're going to get them all the time. And there we go. That's how the cleanse goes. 4 runes, negative, positive is pretty much following the same thing. Keep the good pieces from the rare ones. This already doesn't look great. You want to have support on the support pieces, HP, defense. You want to give them survivability. You want to have damage on the rest, crit damage, crit rate, attack, crit rate next to it, you know. So it's all all very, very important. Skill haste is going to be pretty important on them too. So for the rare ones, you're not really getting that many Philosopher Stones for the runes. So I'll be honest, just keep a few pieces that look good from the beginning and slowly make your way up to with them. If they give you the right rolls, considering getting them sorted later on when you're going to be loaded with all of these Philosopher Stones. And if not, just sell them. Rares, epics, pretty much the same thing. You know, like this is battle ready. I need to have at least 2 or 3 damage substats on them to really consider enrolling the runes with the Philosopher Stones, you know? So if I'm not getting that, they're going to be insta sold. I don't have many legendaries yet, so I'm not going to sell any of them. But this one, how you may notice, is already bad. Attack, enlightenment, resistance, no defense percentage, no HP percentage, no skill haste. So what's the chance to get any of those 3 rolls? Pretty high, but then I have nothing else next to it. So I'm going to sell this one. As an example, is a bad legendary piece. And it's the exact same thing for negative runes, you know, like you're going to be very limited on the Philosopher Stone that you're getting for that. Now, if I'm quickly going to walk you through a couple of my builds, let me just head over to this dungeon and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. Let me just convert some of the energy from here. So we need 4 energy. I love this conversion thing because I can just round it up to what I need, you know, it's perfect. So here, I'm going to share with you guys a couple of quick builds. This is the team that I'm running, and how you may notice, I have 2 tanks, I have a support champion that debuffs, and I have a damage dealer. Now, at the moment, I don't have any 3-piece sets for damage dealers, right? But I do have quite a few different sets for the rest of them, and I actually got an upgrade on some of the sets that I could equip on them right now. So, right here, I have, of course, Theodemer. He's built for damage too. You see, he has 60 crit rate, he has a bit of crit damage, a bit of defense. So he's gonna do them all. This is the chest. I am looking for some of them to give me crit rate and stuff. I will definitely update the builds on them quite a bit in the near future because right now they kind of suck. But I just don't have the right substats for them. You know, defense, crit damage, I'll take it, and defense, skill haste, and nothing else here. But I'll be getting better pieces in the future. Then we have, of course, Frorbart. Now, Frorbart doesn't have the Ancestral Protection 3-piece set. He has a 2-piece set, and then he has a Tundra Guardian, a Tundra Tenacity 2-piece set as well. Basically, we just tank him up. Very high HP, very high defense, and of course, we have the Rift Hourglass. We have an Accuracy rune to help us out, and a defense one. So if he's a defense hero, you want to get as much defense as possible. You might need accuracy for the debuffs, like Voresh, for example. I have a skill haste set on him. I want to ensure that he's going before the rest to be able to put the defense down with his ultimate skill. So I have a skill haste set, crit rate gloves. I have a nice attack chest piece on him. That is a legendary one, but is from a different set. Not a damage set. But I want to tank him up a bit as well. So because these were the 2 pieces that I had available at the moment when I built him, and it's been quite a while now, I decided to stick with that. But this is a very good example of how you build your characters while you're progressing through the game for all of the stages, you know. We have a HP, a positive rune, which is beautiful. We have crit rate, crit damage, no attack percentage, unfortunately, but the rest is actually very nice on it. And I have an accuracy negative rune. Then we have my main damage dealer. I have 2 different sets on him, right? So I have a aerial battle roar set, which gives me attack and crit rate. And I have the attack and enlightenment. Now, he doesn't benefit from enlightenment at all, but because I don't want to make a broken set and lose 15% attack, I decided to just go with this. This is the weapon and the gloves right here, crit rate gloves. The reason why I went with this set is because of the gloves. I don't have gloves from a different set to use them on him, you know, and crit damage rune, and I have an attack rune. They look like crap because they have bad substats, but that's how I'm building my characters. Now, this is a support champion, guys, and a support hero, so she will do a lot of healing. So you see, I have double sets on her. I have a damage set, which is skill haste and attack. I want her to use her skills as often as possible, so the skill haste is actually beneficial. And then I have the ancestral protection, which is basically tanking her up. I have a HP rune because I have triple roll on enlightenment. I would like a legendary enlightenment rune on her, but I haven't got one yet. And I have a rare one available, but that gives me only 30 enlightenment if I'm not mistaken. So the legendary triple roll gives me more than an actual enlightenment rare rune. And I have a defense one with some enlightenment. I would prefer to get some skill haste on her, more enlightenment, of course, to increase the healing. But this is just an example, guys. Some healers might need enlightenment, some might not. Some support champions will need accuracy and defense to tank them up, some HP. Damage dealers will need some accuracy, some damage as well. So you need to basically study your characters. That was all for this video. Hopefully you found it helpful. Hopefully it will allow you to clear your inventory a bit. Thanks to Dragonheir for sponsoring this video, and if you want to get involved, head over to the link in the description down below, or in the pinned comment, or scan the QR code you see on the screen. Appreciate all of you guys watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.